So it feels like every single week we got to talk about LSU and the transfer portal. They go together like biscuits and gravy, but this is one of those moves that makes your jaw drop and your eyeballs kind of peek up a little bit. Josh Thompson, former 4-star offensive lineman, headed down to Baton Rouge to Northwestern. And it feels like that the Tigers, they're doing enough to be able to be a contender for the college football playoff. Let's grade the move. Welcome on into SEC Unfiltered. He's Dave Shumate. I'm Cole Thompson. And today we talk about the Wildcat turning into a Tiger for 2025. Real quickly, make sure that you like the video, hit the ring notification down below, and subscribe to the channel because we talk college football every single day. Download the podcast version of the show wherever you get your podcast listening systems. Follow us on the socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at SEC Unfiltered. Follow Dave at Mach 10 Sports, me and Mr. Cole Thompson, and check out all of our great work found at secunfiltered.com. This episode is brought to you by our friends over at PrizePicks, the official sponsor of the SEC Unfiltered Tour. Go to PrizePicks and use the promo code SECU at sign-up to get a $50 instant play with your first $5 plus lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just for college football. This is the #1 college sports app out there. If you believe on the hard word, your favorite player is going to hit over 25 points. Slam the over, and when you do so, slam it at prizepicks.com or go to the PrizePicks app. Use promo code SECU at sign up. You'll get $50 just simply for using our promo code. Dave, LSU's doing it. LSU in year 4 is putting their money where their mouth is. They're not going to be okay finishing with a 9-4 schedule. They're not going to be okay having any stone left unturned. They've been adding in pieces defensively. They paid to bring back Garrett Nussmeier. Now they're bolstering up their offensive line, an offensive line that's losing 4 potential starters this offseason, and they're bringing in proven experience. This is not just one of those run-of-the-mill type players. Josh Thompson is a dude with over 30 career starts underneath his belt. And he was a staple and an anchor on the offensive line during David Braun's first year, where Northwestern really overexceeded expectations and got to a 7-win season out in Evanston.
Bear, I don't know if you've heard, man, but Thompson's a strong last name, I hear.
I hear it's a pretty strong last name. I may actually give him a little bit of a higher grade because if he does kind of relate to me.
Yeah, Bear's he's going rare now.
It's going to be it may be a rare one, isn't it? Right?
No, but I mean, I think give Austin Thomas credit, the new GM over there, so he's not even GM, associate athletic director, coming over from Ole Miss, bringing that kind of same blueprint Lane Kiffin and them went through. And like you mentioned, Bear, give Brian Kelly credit. He called a shot after the season, saying they were going to go heavy in the portal, maybe win a little.
They were going to go to the national championship. So they were going to the national championship.
He went big. I mean, to give him credit, I mean, look, I've been hard on Brian Kelly his first 3 years, but I'll give him credit here. He's adapted with it. He may have not made the right decision the first go round, but you know what? When answers and new data have been able to be presented in front of him and, hey, we got to go pivot, go in a different direction. You know, he's done that. Done that on the defensive side of the football. He did that with how he's building his roster, constructing his roster, bringing in new ideas, new people like Austin I mentioned. To your point with Josh Thompson, I mean, I think LSU's pass protection is going to be good once again. I mean, I know you're losing Emory Jones, you're losing Will Campbell, but the pass protection, the feet, the base that Josh Thompson plays with when he played against Michigan, Ohio State this year when they were in Evanston is phenomenal. This is a great piece. You had to bring in, Tennessee's hurt here. They would have loved to have this year. You couldn't probably have asked in today's college football. Again, everyone has holes. You're in the portal for a reason 9 times out of 10. Is he a finished product? No. Brad Davis has a lot of mold to work with. But I'll say this, there aren't a lot of guys that stood their ground, played well against Ohio State, Michigan, 2 of the better defensive lines in the sport of college football, and did a good job in the pass pro. So I think they got a lot to work with. As you mentioned, Bear, could lose 4 guys, brought in some other guys as well, the Braylon Moore from Virginia Tech. So you're right. I mean, no one's been better than LSU. Maybe some teams on par with them, but no one's been better than LSU in the portal.
The #4 interior offensive lineman in the portal, the top 20 overall offensive lineman in the portal. And Dave, again, this was a dude that was getting looked at by multiple schools for a 1-year rental. Tennessee wanted him. South Carolina wanted him. Michigan wanted him. Ohio State wanted him. Tennessee wanted him. Tennessee was at the finish line. And then Brian Kelly comes out and says, all right, we'll match it with NIL. We're going to play this game. We're going to go swing big. 21 career starts under his belt. 31 total appearances. Dave, he's got also position flexibility. During his time when he was out in Evanston, he finished with an 83.5 pass blocking grade, 731 snaps at right tackle, 658 at right guard. He is just a dude that you feel confident is going to be a factor somewhere on your offensive line. And remember, they're not going to have Will Campbell back next year. They're not going to have back Emory Jones, Garrett Dellinger, Miles Frazier. They're all off to the NFL. So now you look at this and you're getting a dude with already proven reps in a conference that is known for having bullies in its trenches, just like the SEC, and he's going to be able to keep Garrett Nussmeier upright. We've talked about on multiple experiences going up against some of the best defensive lines in the SEC. What was the thing that helped Garrett Nussmeier a lot? His jersey was so clean afterwards, you could eat a 5-course dinner off it and nobody was going to be complaining. You get that from Josh Thompson, you're in a really good spot going into year 4 underneath Brian Kelly.
No, I agree. I could position versatility. 4 out of the 5 spots he could probably play. Again, the Braylon Moore kid looks like he's going to come in and play, or at least challenge DJ Chester for that center spot.
Yeah, but again, if I get him for one of the 4 other spots, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, no, and that's what they're probably fired up about. Because again, the interior of that offensive line was their weakness this year. I mean, it was a struggle to run the football, but hell, like you said, they could pass protect against anyone. But those 2 tackles are gone, so we'll see how that is fixed across the board. But I mean, you couldn't be more fired up if you're an LSU fan over across the board there from what you added.
You know what's really interesting, Dave, is that we've talked about for a while that a program that adds in transfer portal offensive linemen, a program that goes out and brings in pieces that are usually looking for a new destination, it's because of that player has its faults. I'm not sure that's the case for a guy like Josh Thompson. I think he just wanted to play at a bigger program for his final year of eligibility. And he could be an automatic day 1 starter. Like, it's not like this is a Lance Hurts situation where maybe we overhyped him coming on over from LSU and then he struggles at Tennessee. This is a dude that I think is actually just wanting to be on a bigger stage to better his draft stock and put himself on the primetime spectacle for NFL scouts to look at and be able to kind of pinpoint, here's his strengths, here's his weaknesses. So usually when we talk about offensive linemen, they're leaving the portal because of their needing to go elsewhere. A guy like Josh Thompson's entering the portal because of he wants to play at a bigger program, which is a good get for LSU. I don't think there's a lot they're going to have to teach him. And the things that you are going to have to teach him are very correctable.
Yeah, and he's got to be a cerebral guy there for Brad Davis as well. I mean, you're coming in from Northwestern. You're not – I mean, you got to be pretty damn smart, as we both know, to get in there from an eligibility standpoint. I mean, even as an athlete, similar to Notre Dame, where they don't really lower those standards there. So that should be a kid that comes in that has played Power 4 football. Yes, he is going to play up a level, obviously. But – no, I mean, I think if you're Brad Davis, I mean, there's really no negative to this. Again, he's going to be a sure plug-in starter, should be. I mean, it'd be disappointing if you didn't, both the guys you brought in on the offensive line from that perspective are not coming in and being your starters on the offensive line. So, again, I mean, LSU just doing it in the portal right now. I think Austin Thomas is a main reason why. So, I'm fired up for him here. Again, I've been hard on Brian Kelly about his roster management, but I'll give him credit. He is learning from it. He's changing. He's pivoting when he has to. So, I kind of when I'm giving him hell about his lack of defensive recruiting his first 3 seasons, also got to give him a tip of the cap when he's willing to adjust when he gets more information.
In 402 pass blocking snaps last season, he didn't allow a single sack. According to Pro Football Focus, his pass blocking efficiency rate was 99.2. He surrendered just 2 hits all season on a quarterback. If I'm Brian Kelly and I see that, if I'm an SEC school and I see that, and I got a quarterback that I believe can lead me to the promised land of a national championship, I'm paying him whatever the hell he wants. And again, I'm going to die on this take for as long as possible. I don't care if a wide receiver wants $6 million in NIL funds. I will refuse to pay that price. For an offensive lineman that produces these type of numbers, blank check. Hand it to him, whatever you want, I'm okay with. Let's go ahead and grade the move as we always do. We break this down whenever we get to it. Elite, all league, winnable plus, winnable minus, Jag. We usually don't do Jag. He's a Thompson, so I may give him a little bit of a higher grade, but I think both of us are in kind of the same conversation of where he fits.
Yeah, Bear, going forward quickly for LSU fans. We've done some LSU videos, so the LSU fans who are familiar with our stuff, quickly, this is a Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning grading scale of how they grade their rosters. Again, you had Nick Saban, Bill Belichick have their long critical factors. It's very old school, tedious. I like this. Dumbed down a little bit. You have to talk the same language at your college personnel side and the high school side of things, so this is where it comes in here. Elite, all league. This is very rare. This is something like for the men out there listening, and sorry for you ladies, this is something that your uneducated, I guess, sports husband could tell you with 2 eyes that he's a good player. This is anyone could tell you they are good players, no brainers, elite, all leagues. Most of your roster, though, folks, is going to come from this winnable plus category. If you can hit on 50 to 70% of your roster, like after about a year or 2 of them all being there, say they're winnable plus players, you're competing for championships. Winnable minus, don't get discouraged by the minus. It just means you can win with him, not because of him. You have to surround yourself with other good players. Today, we've done a lot of these reviews on the transport guys. A lot of these positions fit into this winnable. It's a group by committee, running back, both sides of the line of scrimmage, receivers, stuff like that. For me here, Bear, I'm going to go winnable plus. I think he can play, like you mentioned, all 4 spots on the offensive line outside of center. They're bringing Braylon Moore in from Virginia Tech for that. But, I mean, shoot, maybe at 6'2", though, just natural low center of gravity, he could. Just teaching him how to snap would be the issue. But still, winnable minus, a winnable plus here for me. I think he's a guy, smart guy, comes from a good program in Northwestern. I think he's a plug-and-play guy at a spot on the offensive line where you struggled on the interior last year. You could pass block with the best of them on the edges, but you could never get that push on the interior to get that run game going with Josh Williams. I don't know. I think just across the board, I'm gonna go winnable plus. I've been in a good mood today, Bear, but I think he helps get Caden Durham, Josh Williams, and them rolling. So I like the take here by Brad Davis, Brian Kelly, and Austin Thomas here.
One day you're going to talk me off the ledge of overhyping players. This is not the day I'm going all league. And the reason I'm going all league is because I need somebody that can be the enforcer for not just the run game, but keeping my quarterback upright in 2024. And to me, that is going to be Josh Thompson. He is, for my money, the 3rd best interior offensive lineman in the current transfer portal cycle. The only players I would say is probably a little bit better than him: Patrick Kutis, who left from Arkansas to go to Ole Miss, and Luke Pederson, who left from Wake Forest to go to Florida State. That's really it. If I'm getting this dude who didn't allow a single sack last year, if I'm getting this dude that had 2 sacks allowed in 2 seasons, if I'm getting this dude that's already played against Michigan, played against Ohio State, those are not slum defensive lines. Those are quality defensive lines that you would see on an SEC Saturday, and they would invoke fear in you. And this is a guy that was able to win his one-on-one battles against future first-round talents. And he is going to be better for what is the run game with Caden Durham. And he is going to be better on keeping my quarterback upright after losing 4 offensive linemen. And let's say that he is a better fit at right tackle than he is at right guard. Or we have a guy that we believe is going to be a right guard and only a right guard, so we shift him outside a right tackle. I'm content with it. This is what you're looking for. Position flexibility with proven experience that has shown you I can be a high upside player at either spot. So I'm going to go all league. If I'm getting an offensive lineman that gives me these type of numbers, it's hard for me to sell that he is not one of the biggest assets to my team. Because you and I know this, and you and I talked about this. Depth, taxes, stability on the offensive line. If you have that, you have a shot in the college football playoff. LSU is guaranteeing that right now they are leaving no stone unturned about being a playoff threat in 2025. I love it, and I'm okay with the asking price. And you know what? Every LSU fan, any person that's donating to the collective, if this guy ends up being an All-American, you sure as hell are not complaining about the $1 million that is going into his bank account.
No, I know. Phenomenal take. Hell, Brian Kelly will even match $1 million.
Let us know in the comment section down below. What do you think of Josh Thompson coming on down to Death Valley in 2025? Like the video, hit the ring notification, and subscribe to the channel because we talk college football every single day. Download the podcast version of the show wherever you get your podcast listening systems. Follow us on the socials. The link is in the description. Follow Dave and I on the socials. Link is also in the description. And check out all of our great work found at SECUnfiltered.com. For Dave Shumate, I'm Cole Thompson. Tigers, you got a MAULER coming to Death Valley in 2025. And the future, it's looking pretty damn bright. Peace.